AI is actually making it possible for everybody, like anyone who has always dreamt of being a producer or being a speaker, like literally being on the social media space. Who could have thought that an era will come, this era where production will be less expensive? Before now, if you have to create anything, filming, creating an entire story, bringing it into life in visual form, it takes a lot. Before now, yeah, you have to organize like the production team, your setting, like cameras, lighting, everything to make it look good to the eyes. Actualizing that your dream of becoming a producer through the use of AI has actually eliminated the job of team production, like where you have to gather an entire crew, you have to get actors, gather settings, go for locations. Like you can literally now do every of that at the comfort of your home using the AI tools. And on today's video, from the title you already know, we're going to be looking at a full course, like everything it takes for you to actually create a movie, a story, like presentation, advert, anything that has to do with AI creation. That's all we're going to be discussing on today's video. So I'm going to advise, if you came single-handedly, I'll advise that you go get your writing material, because I have my script here, because I don't want to leave anything untouched from this script. I'm going to be giving you like every detail, so that for someone who actually want to start from now on, if you haven't started, or you have been in the game but you are not really doing your best, like you are still struggling, I'm going to be explaining from the beginning till the end everything it takes for you to actually bring that your production to life. So let's get into it. Now, before you actually think of creating a movie, creating whatever that you want to create, there are basically things that you should have at the back of your mind. That is, this is how the AI creation actually flows. Firstly, you have to start with idea generation. Before you create literally everything, you should have the idea of what you want to create. Though AI equally made that easy, if you don't have any idea, you can actually ask, let them just give you anything, okay? But basically, you need to have an imagination of what you want in your head before you can actually start. That's the first step. So it is aligned in this format: idea generation to scripting, then voice narration to visual, then editing. So these are the 5 steps in code that you actually follow to arrive at a production using the AI tools. Starting with the idea generation, like give the idea you have in your head to the AI tool you are using for your creation, then leave the rest for the AI to do. When I talk about idea generation, you have to think of the theme. That is the main core thing that is going to happen, that's going to summarize the production. This is where you have to consider if it's a single person thing or is it something of multiple character, okay, where you have to have dialogue or where you just have to listen without interruption. It depends on the kind of output you actually want to create. You think of it firstly, then you move to your scripting. Now everything is made so easy. Before now, if you have to create any form of drama, any kind of story that has to do with people having conversation or even you talking alone, you need to sit down, script, do like research, do a lot of stuff. But AI has equally made that easy. Okay, so once you get your idea, the next stage is the scripting stage. Now this is where the second work begins. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using ChatGPT, okay? And for me to get my scripts, now I have a story in my head that I want to bring to life. I'm just going to go straight to ChatGPT, input what I want. Now it equally made it easy for you that you don't need to write, don't need to type, just use your voice. So when you go below here, you're going to see the voice space. Just tap on it. When you tap on the voice, then you record what you have in your head. After recording it, you're going to see the message actually pop. Once you send it, you're going to see if there is any mistake you need to correct or there is anything you didn't add. Just read through it to see if something is missing or is there something that you need to add. After cross-checking and everything is put together, then you send it and wait for the feedback. Now on the scripting is one important aspect when it comes to AI creation, because any omission or any mistake can actually give the AI the wrong message. A mistake made in your scripting can actually prompt the AI tool you are using to actually give you the wrong feedback, So what you put in is what you're going to get when it comes to AI creation, because they maintain what you send to them. Whatever you send to them, they work on it and produce exactly that. AI tools actually can make mistakes on their own, but basically you have to work on your script first. Let the ones that are going to make be little mistakes on their own end, which you can actually edit. Okay, now when it comes to scripting, there are things you need to pay attention to. Number one, is it going to be in chapters? Is it going to be in scenes? Do you want dialogue? Are you creating just with a speaker? Are you actually creating ad? Like, what is it that you're trying to put up? It is very important in your scripting. Now, the way you create a script for public speaking is different from the way the script for maybe folktale stories or anything that involves a kind of mutual conversation is being created. Now, if you're speaking to one person, like a kind of public speaking, you're just addressing, nobody's interrupting, you only give ear to question when you want to. It's different from when you have a kind of creating a kind of conversational production. If you're working on a story, if you're trying to create a video around a story, is different. The way you're going to script it is different from the way you're going to just script a video where you have to present something or where you want to create an advert. Okay, assuming you are working for just a public speaking or a single person presentation, you just have to script what you want to say fully. That's all. Okay, but if it has to be a story, a kind of story where people have to interact together or maybe groups have to have conversation, then the way you're going to create it is different. Okay, so now let's work on the dialogue part, because I believe that the dialogue part is usually the most difficult part of AI creation. For AI creation that involves dialogue, that is a kind of story. But before we go further, let me explain some terminologies, like some words I'm going to be using regarding to this, so that you don't get confused. You hear these words all the time and you're a bit confused like what they represent. When you hear prompt, I'm talking about the input, what you have to type in, what you have to voice in, like what you're giving to get something out. That's the prompt. Okay, now we talk about dialogue. We're talking about conversation when people have to be talking to each other. There could be two persons, three. All right, and when you really talk about scenes, we're talking about when you're watching a movie, you always see at this very space, you meet some persons maybe in their house or wherever they are. After talking, like after taking their role, they will take you to some other persons at their own pace where they're taking their role as well, and some other person like that. So these are scenes. When you hear scenes, I'm talking about a drama point where this particular group has to perform their own function like that, okay, at different time. All right, that's it. So whenever you hear any of these, please don't get confused. Let's move on. So straight to creating a dialogue kind of movie, or like movie, because movie basically involves dialogue. Like nobody creates a movie for one person. You can see a movie that actually is being produced using just one person, so it always have multiple characters. So the first thing you should have at the back of your mind when creating any video, anything that has to do with you having to have different scenes, is consistency of characters. When I talk about characters, I'm talking about those people, the images that you are seeing in that production, those people that you're going to be using for your production. They have to be consistent. They have to be the same person. You cannot be having different person and it is still the same thing. No, you have to make sure that the person's face is the same. They can change their clothes, they can change their hair, they can change anything, but their skin color as well as their face, their body shape, like the image has to be the same. That's one important thing you should pay attention to: consistent character. Okay, another thing you should pay attention to that can make your production look professional is the accent they are using. Now, if you're actually kind of creating a Nigerian based or an African based kind of production or movie, and they end up speaking like the Americans, they are using this kind of very fast AI kind of speech, it is not giving. Okay, consistency of characters as well as the accent, the tone you're going to be talking with. Not AI will do all this for you, but these are the things you have to hold like very strong for your production to actually come out right. Now, having these basic two key things at the back of your mind, let me walk you through how you can produce step by step. Now, the first thing is you're going to go straight to ChatGPT. Like I said, I'm going to be using that very tool for today's tutorial. When you get to ChatGPT, you just prompt in, tell ChatGPT what you have in your head, the kind of story you want to create. Okay, like tell ChatGPT everything you have in your head, then it's going to give you. Now, another thing you should consider here is, are you creating long story, short story? Make it known to ChatGPT, because you can as well want to create maybe a story of say 1 minute, and ChatGPT can end up giving you something that involves 10 chapters. Yeah. Okay, so when you are prompting, when you are telling ChatGPT or any other AI tool you are using to do something for you, be straightforward, be detailed, like tell the thing the way it will be understandable, because the wrong prompt will give you the wrong information, will give you the wrong output. Okay, so now I'm going to give you, for example, maybe I want to create a story of twin boys who actually got separated during birth. Like after they were giving birth to them, they were separated, and one was given to a poor family, one was given to the rich parents, and these people lived their lives normally without knowing that they existed. Like the other person is there, another person is there. So this is what I have basically in my mind, but I want, in conclusion, they should be united and there should be peace. The parents should understand and life should go on. Okay, now when I give this to ChatGPT, now there are things I'll make sure to put in there. Number one, I'm going to tell ChatGPT who my characters should be. They are Africans, they are Nigerians. That's number one thing. The second thing, I'm going to tell ChatGPT the setting. Is it urban setting? Is it rural setting? So that he will not make mistake. Number three, I'm going to tell ChatGPT to actually create the story in chapters, because what you say is what they will do for you. Yeah. What you tell the AI tools are definitely what they will do for you. I'll tell the AI tool to actually, that is ChatGPT that I'm using, to create it as well in chapters. Okay. Now, if I want the story very short, maybe I want to create, say, 1 minute to 5 minutes video. I'll say, okay, I want a story of about 200 words, or maybe 150 or 100. Okay. Now, if I want it very short, I'll just say, create me one chapter, like summarize this story just in one chapter, very short, or in 2 chapters, or in 3. Okay, depending on how long you want your video to be. All right, chapters. Then the next thing you're going to do equally is to make sure that you include the kind of names you want those characters to be bearing. If you have any in mind, so that ChatGPT will not just give you their own name. Assuming you are creating maybe for urban stories and you want them kind of have English names and all that, you equally tell ChatGPT, this is what I want. Okay, so after you are done giving ChatGPT all this prompting, just send it. Anything that you want to have in your story, just make it known to ChatGPT. If you want the story to have advanced kind of English, let it be known. If it is pidgin English you want to be in the story, just let it be known. If you want a kind of story that even someone in primary 3, 4, like that kind of story, just make it known. Okay, you have to be very, very detailed about what you want. Like I always say, that will help ChatGPT. I'm using ChatGPT, remember, just for tutorial sake. That will help the AI tool you are using to actually kind of give you a reasonable feedback that actually resonates with what you want to do. Okay, so that's on scripting. Scripting is like the boss around this. The better the script, the perfect the production. Okay, so pay attention to your scripting. It is very, very important. Now, once you type in and send, ChatGPT is going to bring out the stories in chapters for dialogue scenes. Okay, if you are creating stories that involve multiple characters. Now, in feedback, ChatGPT will give you the story in chapters. Okay, now assuming it is 2 chapters or 3 chapters, after the first one, which is prompting, scripting, okay, you send, you now have it in chapters. Now the next thing is to tell ChatGPT, I love what you've done. If you have checked the story, it gives you what you want. You will now say, okay, now I would love for you to break this into scenes. Now, another thing you need to pay attention is how many scenes do you want? Do you want each of the chapters to have 2 scenes, 3 scenes, 4 scenes, 5 scenes? Let the AI tool know about it. If you want just 1 scene, indicate. If you want to, do as well to let it know. Just make sure to indicate how many scenes you want per chapter. Okay, after the chapters has been broken into scenes, now you're going to tell the same AI tool, I'm still using ChatGPT, remember, to actually break the scenes now into dialogue scenes. Okay, after you have broken it into scenes, just the scenes, now break it again into dialogue scenes. Okay, and make sure not to leave anything untouched. No scenes should be left out. Everything should be broken into dialogue scenes. Okay, so the first is to create in chapters. From chapters you break it into scenes, after scenes, you break it into dialogue scenes. This is the third stage in the creation. Now, after you have broken it into dialogue stage, that is now the number 4 when you have to create your characters. Now, you have to equally tell the tool you are using to actually create image prompt that you're going to use to generate your image. Tell it to create image prompts, that is image kind of text sentences that you will now use to create the image you will use to actually carry out the story you have created. I hope you understand that. So the first is creating chapters. Once you created it in chapters, the second thing is to tell it to break it into scenes. Now tell it to break it into dialogue scenes, and after that, let it create image prompts for you. They're going to use to generate your images. All right, that's the fourth stage in dialogue creation, and that's actually the last stage on it. Now the next phase is to go and generate your images. Now some persons want to use ChatGPT to do that, but ChatGPT actually has limits when it comes to you generating images. I think it is 5 images per day. So I'm gonna go straight. Let's use Flow AI. So when you go to Flow AI has this unlimited. You can generate so many images on Flow AI, as well you can create videos from there too. But I think creating the video is not free. Generation of images are free. Yeah. And another interesting thing about the Flow AI is that it has the feature of this Nano Banana 2. Yeah, it has it, so you can actually create stunning pictures. Now, how do you create your images? Firstly, you have to go to Flow. Let's go to Flow. Now, when you get to Flow, you're just going to go to Nano Banana 2. You will tap on all the things to see what they actually do. Tap on every setting, every feature you see here to see what it actually do. Now you can generate 4 pictures, 2 pictures, 1 picture, depending on what you put in. They have the option. Then check, are you generating for YouTube or you generate for every other social media? Is it 16.9, 9.16? Like, what ratio are you generating with? What ratio do you want your image to be? Is it like this or like this? Okay, that's what I'm trying to explain. Now when you are done putting all the settings in place, now you will just go to ChatGPT. You minimize, go to ChatGPT. Depending on the tool you are using, I'm using ChatGPT for this tutorial. You pick, go to where you have character prompt, pick the characters accordingly. Okay, so when you pick, you come to Flow AI, impute it, generate your image, then save to your phone. Yeah, any image you generate, you save it to your phone. Then when you are done generating the 1-1 image, that is the ones that have 1-1, you now move down to where you have to generate the scene that you're going to use for your play. So when you get to the scene, you pay attention, read what is in the scene. When you read what is in the scene, you're going to see the people or the persons that are in the scene. Now copy the scene, go to Flow AI, paste it, then go to your gallery. Pick the pictures that you have the persons in that very scene. You pick the pictures, then you add it. Send. It's going to generate the scene plus the persons that are involved in that particular scene. You have to do this for all the scenes. You have to keep generating the scenes with this pattern. Any particular one, you go to ChatGPT, copy it, come to Flow, paste it, then scan through, see the characters in that scene, then go to the pictures, the images you have generated before that you saved, pick those characters, add them to the scene, then send to generate your images and the scene. Okay, so that's how to create your consistent characters. Okay, and another thing you should do to help you get consistent character is to make sure where you have 2 ladies, assuming you're trying to kind of create something that involves 2 ladies or 2 men, make sure to indicate which is which in the prompt. Okay, after imputing the image, go to where the first person is, indicate maybe with the person's dress color, this person is this person and this person is this person. That's how you're going to be doing it, so to get the consistent character, because the AI too doesn't know who is who. It is you that will tell him that this is this person and this is this person. A situation whereby you have 2-3 men in one picture, indicate each of them so that they can maintain consistency of characters. Now another thing is, if you want their dresses to be changed, you can indicate when you input your prompt, go to spaces for each of the maybe the men or the women, depending on who is involved. The scene, indicate the dress you want that person to wear, like do it for every of them, so that for every scene they'll be changing their dressing. Okay, so that is it. These are very, very important if you want to have a kind of professional output at the end of your production. Okay, so you pay attention to their consistency of face, body before you actually send for a scene to be generated. Read through it, check if there are something you need to add, and make sure to check if the person you want that particular name to represent is actually indicated. Now that you have generated all the scenes, it is time for your visual to come to life. This is the time for you to create the video. Now, this is where the challenging part is, because a lot of apps that actually create long form videos right now are actually paid for. Me personally, I currently use the Magic AI, and it is this app. It gives you free credits every day, 100 free credits every day, and it can generate as long as 30 seconds video, yeah, at once. You can do that. Other apps do 5 seconds and 7 seconds, I think, maximum, but the Magic Hour AI can generate up to 30 seconds with your credits. They equally have paid subscription that you can do as well. So anyone that works for you, just make sure to use any tool that work for you. We still have the Grok there. A lot of people have been complaining bitterly about Grok. That's why I don't want to talk about Grok, because I don't know, I have not been using. When I used Grok, it was actually free. Yeah, it was during the free version period. Remember, if money has to be made, money has to be invested. So for you to actually kind of create AI and make money out of it, you have to be consistent, and for you to be consistent, you need more credit to actually do everyday kind of production. And for that reason, you sure need to subscribe, because you already know that you're going to get back what you have invested. Okay, so this is actually the total thing you need to actually start your AI production. Okay, and I don't know if there's anything left out. Let me look through my script to see. I don't think there's anything left out now. Okay, so far so good. We've been able to do justice on this, and I believe from now henceforth you start creating something reasonable. Yeah, pay attention to the way they speak, their accent, because there's some people, when you watch their AI production, you'll be hearing the kind of a Nigerian person speaking with American accent. That's AI has played. So you have to make this use realistic Nigerian accent. You should speak with Nigerian realistic natural accent. That should be the input if you actually want to create with Nigerian kind of tone. Okay, want them to speak like Nigerians, just say Nigeria realistic natural accent. Okay, and AI will give you whatever they're going to be speaking will sound like Nigerians. But if you don't give in this prompt, like you don't add this prompt in creating your video, then they will end up speaking just like the AI too. So that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you're seeing me for the first time, meet me. I am Enetina, and this is Creators Media. If you like what we do, you can actually join us. Before you go, you want to know much of what we do, we are actually here to tell you everything you need to grow here on YouTube, as well as we talk about business. We usually talk about a lot of things here, but because we're just starting, our family is not yet complete. We are just focusing on people growing their channel, people growing, like starting YouTube channel or another social media platform. That's what I'm currently talking about. So if you like to be like, if you like what we do here, you can actually join us simply by subscribing. And when you do, remember to turn your notification bell on, because that's going to help you get quick notifications whenever we post new videos. Keep staying amazing. See you in our next one. Bye.